Doc Rivers is an American professional basketball coach and former player who is head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers of the NBA. He was an NBA All-Star in 1988, and he was also the head coach of the Boston Celtics in 2008 when they won the NBA championship. In this video, I'm going to be sharing Doc Rivers' 5 rules for life and how it relates to stopping drinking. I've just finished watching a documentary on Netflix called Playbook where it discusses different coaches' rules for life. And when I was watching this video, I knew that I had to share this with you guys because it was just so relevant and so useful to somebody who's on their journey to not drinking alcohol. Hope you enjoy this video, guys. Let's get into it. Just before we get into the video, if you want to get access to the free video training showing you how to control your drinking without AA or willpower, click the link in the description. I'll be showing you how to use the mental model called first principles thinking to get control of your drinking. I'll be talking about the 5 critical mistakes that 90% of drinkers make, and I'll also be sharing the 2 phases of becoming sober clear. You do not want to miss that training video. It will change your mindset around drinking forever so you can start getting your health, career, confidence and relationships back on track. Click the link in the description for instant access. Now, the very first rule that Doc Rivers has is to finish the race. In the documentary, he starts talking about when he was at school and the school teacher said to the class, write down on the whiteboard or the chalkboard or whatever it was called, what you want to be when you grow up. And he wrote that he wants to be a professional basketball player. And then it's a typical story where the teacher comes and rubs it out and says, no, you need to be more realistic, write something else. So he writes the exact same thing and then he gets sent home and the dad comes into school and Doc has a conversation with his dad and his dad said, whatever goal you decide, make sure that you finish the race. And he goes back to school and writes it on a board one more time that he wants to be a professional basketball player. And like every good story, he becomes a professional basketball player. But this got me thinking about the journey of becoming a non-drinker. So finishing the race is just so relevant to stopping drinking alcohol. Now, obviously stopping drinking is not necessarily a race, but it's definitely a journey, and you want to make sure that you finish the journey of your drinking career. Now, for me, that journey was around 10 years, and it was 10 years of trial and error. It was 10 years of trying different things, and it took me 10 years to really figure things out and build this paradigm that I talk about on the channel, where I see alcohol for what it is, where I see not a single benefit to consuming this highly addictive poison. I just see nothing at all. And what Doc's rule is to finish the race. And I'm saying to finish the journey, right? It's to keep trying. It's to keep putting the pieces together. Keep watching the videos. Keep reading the books. Keep listening to the programs. Whatever it takes for you to get into this paradigm where you see things for what it is, finish it. And it's why I also talk about having that mindset where you're all in, where you're mentally switched on, where you're ready just to commit to something. And you've really got to keep your eyes on the prize, because what I talk about on this channel and what I've experienced and what other people that I know that don't drink alcohol have experienced is that life without alcohol is night and day different. The clarity, the energy, the relationships that you can build, the focus, the productivity, the better health, everything is better when you're sober because alcohol gives you nothing in the first place. So the first rule is to finish this journey, finish this race. Keep going, keep putting the pieces together. Now, the second rule that Doc Rivers has is to not be a victim. Rivers uses lots of examples in the documentary of his mother and how his mother would always, tell him to get back up. Don't be a victim. Just get up, keep going. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And Rivers talks about how this idea of not being a victim has basically spread out to his career and his ideology around work and really stepping up. And when it comes to stopping drinking, this rule is golden. Not being a victim, not thinking of yourself as a victim, as a loser, as the problem. I did this for 10 years. Every time that I tried to stop drinking and failed, I thought that I was the problem. I thought that I was the reason why I couldn't stop. I always thought it was me, and I just wish that I knew what I do now, because now I realize that I'm not the problem. I never was the problem. I'm not a victim. I removed the alcohol and simply got on with my life, and once I removed the alcohol, things just started going well again. It wasn't like I had to go back and beat myself up. It wasn't like I had to say, poor me, look at me, I can't stop. When I removed this idea of me being the victim, me being the problem, it meant that I could just get on with things. And this mindset of not being a victim, it can just make all the difference. And this is difficult because we can go to, a therapist, we can go to a doctor, we can go to an AA meeting and we get told that we are the victim, we are the problem, poor you. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have some pity for yourself if you're in a really dire situation right now, because I was waking up with blood on a computer, I was waking up having to live at my friend's place because I've got no money in the bank. But I didn't allow myself to feel bad for myself for a prolonged period of time. It gave me the motivation to look for a solution. But I'm not living with this feeling for the rest of my life. I'm not calling myself a victim to alcohol. I'm removing it and getting on with my life. And that is exciting. It was exciting for me. It's exciting for you guys that are watching this channel. Don't be a victim. Now, the third rule that Rivers has is Ubuntu is a way of life. And Ubuntu means that a person is a person through other people. And the quote here is, "I can't be all I can be if you're not all that you are. I can never be threatened by you because the better you are, the better I am." And he tells a story of Ubuntu and when on the team he gets these 3 really strong players, but all 3 are leaders. And basically Rivers finds out about this word, this word of Ubuntu, which is a way of living. And basically the whole team start using this word and it becomes that everybody rises together.
Person is a person through other people. I can't be all I can be unless you are all you can be.
And it got me thinking about stopping drinking, and I think that what's going to happen over the next few months and years ahead, or we're going to see more YouTube channels coming up like mine. We're going to see more people becoming leaders in this space, because as other people stop drinking and they rise, it gives permission for other people to rise with them. And through getting sober, what ends up happening is you improve yourself. And naturally, just by improving yourself is you give permission for other people to grow with you. And the better you get, the better those people around you get. And if we really think about it, we are all leaders. You might be a leader at your work. You might have a small team. You might have a business. You might have a family. You might have friends. There are always places that we can step up as leaders. And when you think about this term Ubuntu, which basically means I am because you are, when you live in alignment with this and you don't drink alcohol, you give permission for all the people around you to grow. You become a better influence. You become a better leader. And I think this word is a great reminder when you're not drinking of the effects that you are having on other people, which can be very, very motivating. It can be very inspiring, and it can really give you a very big why. Now, the 4th rule Rivers has is that pressure is a privilege. And Rivers says you shouldn't run from your legacy, your own expectations, or pressure. You should run towards them. You don't get in a lot of pressure situations in your lifetime. If you can put yourself into a pressure situation you've worked for, you've earned it. Embrace it. How does this relate to stopping drinking? So if you're watching this channel, if you're watching my videos, if you're watching other videos about stopping drinking, if you're reading books, if you might have been attending meetings and whatever, you have got a reason why you're trying to do the things that you are doing. There is pressure that you are putting on yourself. And whilst I say stopping drinking can be effortless, there has to be a motivator to make you move towards finding a solution in the first place. Because if alcohol was causing no problems, you wouldn't be looking for a solution. It's that simple. And I've spoken about this in the 4 stages of quitting alcohol. Click up here to watch that video. But the thing is if you are looking for a solution to stop drinking alcohol, then there is pressure. And that pressure is usually things that mean a lot to you. In my personal journey, I had pressure to stop drinking because I didn't want to, have this wasted potential. My health was taking hits. I had no money. I was scaring my family. And most importantly, my self-esteem, my self-confidence, my happiness had just taken hit after hit after hit. And this caused pressure. And this caused pressure that built up to me finding a solution to my alcohol issue. And this pressure, like Rivers says, is a privilege. If you have a big why, if you have things that you want to move towards, that is exciting. So the pressure that you've got right now to finding a solution is a privilege. Because at the end of the day, nobody is making you click on this video. Nobody is making you watch this content. You are choosing to watch this content because you have a reason why you want to go through what you're going through. You want to find a solution. And that is a privilege. Maybe 200 years ago, people like myself would have died at 35 years of age. They would have drank themselves into a pit. So pressure is a privilege. And the 5th and final rule that Rivers has is that champions keep moving forward. And you are a champion. You are a leader. And in the documentary, Rivers uses the example of Muhammad Ali. And he talks about getting hit, keeping moving forward. Getting hit, keeping moving forward. I spent 10 years of my life getting hit every single weekend. There was many days where I woke up and said, I'm not going to drink anymore. Boom, again, knocked back down. Boom, again, knocked back down. But the thing is I got up again and again and again. And if you're watching these videos, it's likely that you've had a similar scenario. But you are a champion. You can step up as a champion. You can get hit and then start again and start again and start again. It's the person that doesn't get up after getting hit that's going to be in the exact same position that they're in now in 10 years' time. That doesn't need to be you. If you've tried to stop drinking 10, 15, 20 times already, it doesn't matter. It's about getting up one more time and giving it another go. And like I said, if you're watching these videos, it's very likely that is the attitude that you've already got. You're the type of person that's already been hit and you're going again. You're finding another solution. You're giving it another go. You're going forward. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. You should check out the documentary. Thanks a lot.